Welcome back to the channel. Today's video is going to be a little bit different in that it will be entirely about us getting our RV ready for a trip to North Carolina. And we'll have more videos of us camping in North Carolina and mountain biking coming up soon. But this video will be entirely about us preparing our RV beginning 3 days in advance. And why 3 days? Well, if you've ever done a trip in your RV or a camping trip of any sort, you probably have realized that the day before you go camping, you end up spending a lot of time, and it can be pretty hectic, that day before you leave. And starting at least 3 days out really helps because you get your refrigerator cooled down in time before you pack it full of food. And it just makes that last day of packing a little less hectic. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. The first order of business today is getting the RV ready. I've already checked the tire pressures. 62 PSI is recommended. I always lose a little bit, so I went ahead and put 65 all the way around, and we should be good to go. The Honda Fit back here, we'll be pulling it, air pressure's at 32 all the way around. One important thing to remember when you have an RV is to turn the refrigerator on at least a couple days in advance, at least 1 day in advance, I guess. It takes a while to cool down, so what you don't want to do is you don't want to just turn it on and load it up and go. You need to give it about a day to get down to operating temperature. We'll keep it open when we store it to prevent mildew, with it turned off. And when you turn it on, you simply hold this button down. Okay, and there we go. And it shows that it's on automatic using shore power. We use a level 3 on our settings. There's a very tiny green light right there. Lets you know that it's on. One thing that I need to do, and I haven't figured out exactly the right caulk yet, is in the bathroom, is to come in and kind of re-caulk some of these edges. The top looks good, but down here at the bottom, I just want to make sure that I don't have any water getting through there. I think it's good. It's not pretty, but I think we're good. And I'm not sure, a little bit of rust right here, if I need to do anything there or not. I did notice when I was going through the RV, starting to get ready to go, that we had some ants, and so I changed out the ant baits that we have, and hope that'll work for us. The important thing to remember on these steps is, if you want them to last, is make sure that the bolts up underneath here are tight and not getting loose and vibrating, and also make sure that you don't step on the steps while they're moving. Make sure they're fully deployed before you step on them. I self-fixed this issue here. We had a car hit our mirror in Oregon last year and got the insurance information, then I promptly lost it. So I guess we'll have to fork out the money to fix that ourselves. I've heard it's important to have the RV level when operating the refrigerator. So I'm at a little bit of a slope here. I'm going to go ahead and level it with the automatic levelers. It's pretty easy, so check it out. So you can see we have the HWH computerized leveling system installed. You do have to start the RV before you level. Okay, with the RV on, I'm just going to hit auto level. You can see with these little yellow lights, it shows where I'm not level. Downslope on the left and the back. Auto level. So now that I've got it level, I'll show you another feature that we've added since our last trip. So we've got our bike rack back here, and we still have the ability to tow. Now it's important to get this right. This lower one has the ability to tow 10,000 pounds of weight, 400 pound tongue weight. This is important because a lot of people will have this flipped over and they'll use the lighter weight one that's not rated for towing. So this is a new setup for us, and we'll just have to check it out and see how it works. Okay, red lights all four corners. We're nice and level. Turn off the key. The refrigerator is turned on. So I think when you use the bike rack and the tow bar at the same time, it's probably best to set up your tow bar before you get your bikes on the rack. Get your bike, I'm using the Kuat rack here, so it's folded up out of the way, but you still have, you have to get underneath here to actually hook up the tow bar to the receiver. This thing is heavy, a little bit awkward. Going back as far as I'd like. Oh, there we go. Too far. Now the good thing is once you get this set up, you can just leave it on here. Put the locking pin on there. The ones I'm using are the ones that came with the blue locks. Okay, we'll have to try this in a couple of days with the bikes on and the car hooked up. So I'm excited to give it a shot. Able to carry 4 bikes now, 2 on the back of the car, 2 on the back of the RV. Hey, good morning. It's 2 days out before we leave on our trip to North Carolina, and we're just kind of getting the RV squared away and ready to go, and as well as the Honda Fit, the tow vehicle. Got to get it all prepped up and start a little bit of pre-packing. Tomorrow we'll do our final packing. Brenda back there getting the beds put together for us. Airing out the RV. Nice cool morning. Basically at 2 days out, I'm going through and opening all the storage compartments on the RV and going through and making sure everything's clean and ready to pack. And if you bring bikes with you and you can't, be sure to bring heavy-duty locks for them, as well as bike covers. We feel like hiding the bike under cover is part of the deterrent for bike thieves. Heavy-duty bike locks with an alarm attached to it, motion detector. Usually takes some work to cut through. I know a lot of folks use this botanical rodent repellent. I'm putting fresh pouches out now and throwing away the old ones. They seem to be working. So far so good. So I'm going to put one here. Boy, these actually smell really good. There. And we're going to put one right here. And I'm going to put one here in the kitchen under the sink. And we're going to put one right there. I just want to pop in here and say we don't have any footage of packing the day before we left. Packing the day before we leave is hectic enough without running cameras. But I do want to say that the important thing about packing and preparing for a trip like this is putting together a good list that you can check off as you make sure everything is packed. And we like to start with a week's worth of groceries packed and in the refrigerator before we leave. Well, good morning. We are headed to North Carolina this morning, and we're just finishing up our packing. We're going to try to roll out by 7 o'clock, but we're running a little bit late. Had a couple of issues. Check this out. So, we were trying to carry 2 bikes on the back of the RV and 1 bike on the back of the car, and that seems to be working okay, except for this. So I don't know if you can see this, but here's our towing system, and you have to actually move it up into a vertical position in order to deploy it. And unfortunately, that ends up hitting the bike rack. And so essentially you have to take the bike rack off to hook up or unhook the car from the RV. So a little bit of an issue. Try to find a little bit better solution to this going forward. Trusty, super heavy duty, super heavy, you could say.
Yeah, just don't crack the super light frame of the bike. Was making that noise.
Yeah. So
only when you hit the brakes.
Okay. Just when the brakes?
Uh-huh.
Okay. So it doesn't do it with the blinker?
No.
Okay, so we've got this weird sound when we test our lights, and that's the blinkers don't make a weird noise, but when we touch the brakes it makes a weird noise back here. So we're not sure exactly what that is yet, but anyway, stay tuned. Did you look at that sunrise, huh? That's beautiful. Oh, the sun's so bright. All right, so here's our driving away scene. If you have any questions or comments about anything that you see in the video today, feel free to drop us a comment below.